It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and today we have a beer from the Garden Brewery in Croatia. Of all places, of all wonderful places. I've been to Croatia. It's a lovely place. I went to Split. Lab Split Craft Brewery I visited, but I went to Split in Croatia. Fantastic. Where they filmed parts of Games of Thrones. This is Planina Double Imperial Affogato Stout. It's coming in at 10.3% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. It's 30 IBUs. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Inspired by the Italian classic espresso, cacao and Madagascan vanilla. There we go. Without further ado, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Brewed with water, hops, yeast, malted barley, oats and lactose. I don't mind lactose in stout. I'm not a fan of it in IPA. I'm not a fan of it in pale ales. You can do this with lactose. You can really look at that. You can really dump the beer in the glass when you add lactose to the beer, because when you add lactose to the beer, it makes the beer slick. It makes it slightly oily and slick. Have a listen. That head wants to dissipate very quickly. It has dissipated very quickly. Jet black beer in the glass. You can see the carbonation, a little bit of carbonation rising up as you rock the beer back and forth. Jet black look in the glass. The Garden Brewery, I think they've spotted an opportunity. Now, in 2019, when we had that awful situation of people being locked away in their houses, and then when we had the British Brexit, that was the biggest thing. It was Brexit, wasn't it, in 2019. A lot of companies, a lot of breweries around Europe and America decided not to send to the UK because it was just too difficult. It was just plain too difficult to do. I remember going to my local bottle shop, to buy bottles of Nergnay, cans of Nergnay. It was fantastic. Like, you could buy beer from all around Europe. And then it became really difficult. But I think what the Garden Brewery decided to do was to push through with all of that awful paperwork that Brexit gave. And now they find themselves in a position that they've sorted it now. They know how to get through all of that litigation, all of that paperwork, all of that being bogged down by trying to send beer from Croatia to the UK. And they're probably one of the only breweries now that actually send to the UK, I would say. So you can go in Asda. You can go in Asda and pick up a Garden Brewery beer. So they've really spotted an opportunity to sell to the UK market. And there's certain people like me that like to try beers from everywhere, absolutely everywhere, because we have curious minds, don't we? Let's get the aroma on this jet black liquid. Oh, that smells good. Wow, that Madagascan vanilla is flying through. It's probably the biggest thing you get when you stick your nose in this beer. Cacao, chocolate. Not so much that kind of classic stout aromas of like roasted malt, chocolate, coffee, caramel, maybe some raisin, some plums, some prunes. More like a flavoured imperial stout at 10.3% ABV. It smells sweet. I quite like the aroma, I do. Let's dive in. Planina. Cheers. quite sweet. Probably a little bit sweeter than I would like in an Imperial Stout, to be honest. I'm much more of a traditional. I really like the aroma. I really like the aroma on the beer, but tasting it, it does taste like one of those. Unfortunately, it tastes like one of those celebration beers. Remember those celebration Imperial Stouts that came out a few years ago? Vocation brought them out. The Bounty Imperial Stout, the Twix Imperial Stout, the Mars Bar Imperial Stout. They were all way too sweet and quite shockingly bad. This kind of reminds me of that. It unfortunately does. Cloying and sweet, and it just, the sweetness just overpowers everything else. I like an Imperial Stout. I like an Imperial Stout to offer some bitterness. I like the Imperial Stout to offer some chocolate, some coffee, some caramel, lots of that kind of roasted malt bitter flavours coming through on the back end. I don't like an Imperial Stout to be just predominantly sweet to get over that 10.3% ABV. I think it's trying to do too much. Another sweet beer on the channel. If you're interested, you can pick up this beer at beersofeurope.co.uk. Beers of Europe, the largest online beer store in the UK with a fabulous range of beers from all over Europe. If you've been on holiday, if you've been away working, and you found that perfect beer for you, maybe it's this one, then the best place to find it in the UK would be beersofeurope.co.uk. There's a link in the description box of the video. Thanks for watching. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.